When did you realize your family valued perfection over happiness? My mom always had one unbreakable rule. If you're not first, you're last. I still remember the day when my 14-year-old older sister Leah came home crying. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry." Turns out she had gotten just 100% on her math test. You see, at our school, extra credit questions could bump you over 100%. Leah had skipped the bonus questions to double-check her work. "If you'd cared enough, you would have done the extra credit," my mom said, her voice flat and cold. Maybe it's because I was younger, but I for one could always see through our mom's BS. But whenever I tried to share my words of wisdom with Leah, she would shut down. "Leah, I don't think you need to be studying until 5 a.m. I let myself sleep. That's the difference," she'd always say, interrupting my attempt at helping her. By high school, she was class president and honor society president, tutored younger students for free, and was on track to be valedictorian of her graduating class. So one night, she knocked on my bedroom door and had a complete breakdown for not being good enough. Apparently, one of the 4 kids she was tutoring had gotten a B+ instead of an A on their English test. I hugged her and comforted her until she stopped crying. Not because she was the failure that she thought she was, but because I could see in real time how much our mom's forceful perfectionism had gotten to her, how much it had rotted her soul. "Leah, I think you're the best older sister ever." I tried to sound as enthusiastic as possible to get the point across, but she just shook her head. "Shut the F up, Katie. I hate when you lie to me." And that's when I gave up on reassuring her, and instead tried to be her role model. I'd tell her whenever I got an A that was a 95% instead of 100% with a huge smile on my face, to show her that happiness doesn't always have to be found in complete perfection. During exam season, I made it a thing to always get 8 hours of sleep, and every morning I'd make sure to remind her of how rested I felt, how grateful I was not to have any brain fog. But I guess our mother noticed my antics, because she started wailing on me at least once a week. Not directly, simply by forcing me to kneel and rice until I finally fell over. And as if this wasn't enough, she began to praise Leah at my expense. "Leah, you're proof that I did at least one thing right. Goodness knows not all my efforts paid off." Or, "I've only ever felt proud to be a mother when I look at you, Leah. It's hard to feel that way about ungrateful half measures." All this broke my heart, not because I cared about what my mother said, but because I knew that it would eventually cause a rift between us. And of course, I was right. As soon as Leah graduated from high school, she went NC with me. Her reasoning? I was a disappointment to the bloodline. And a year later, when I got into Stanford University, and not any Ivy League, they officially disowned me. My mom cut me off financially, and told the entire family that I was extremely dangerous to be around. I expected Leah to be somewhat supportive, but instead she added fuel to the fire. She started sending stories about me into the family group chat about how I emotionally manipulated and abused her. But I just took it as an opportunity for a fresh start. I blocked everyone I knew from back home, got a job, and took out a loan. For the first time ever, I was free from my mom and Leah's impossible standards. But deep down, I always knew that Leah and I would one day be best friends. Well, I was in my sophomore year of college when I got the call, but it wasn't Leah. It was her best friend. I could barely make out what she was saying between the tears. "Leah, she, pills, hospital." My heart dropped, and I asked her to text me the address. It was a 6-hour drive, but I made it in 4. When I got there, Leah's room was a flood of IV drips and nurses. The sound of the heart monitor echoed off the walls. When her best friend found me, she lunged at me for a hug. I don't even know what happened. One second she was taking an Adderall to study longer. Next thing I knew, her pupils dilated and her skin was drenched in sweat. My stomach turned to ice. I knew exactly what had pushed her to take them. "Does my mom know she's here?" I asked, voice shaking. She shook her head and I breathed a sigh of relief. Good, don't tell her. She just nodded like she already knew. For the next 2 days, I barely existed outside of the chair beside her bed. I'd spend all day there working on my laptop, waiting for her to wake up. And eventually, she did. It was ironically the most well-rested she had looked since our childhood. I gave her a hug, not knowing what to expect, and she actually hugged me back. Her eyes flooded, spilling over before she could even blink them away. "I'm sorry, Katie." I wiped her eyes and told her not to be sorry, that I never blamed her for any of it. But there was one thing I wasn't telling her. At that moment, I hated our mother more than ever before. Abusing me is one thing, but almost taking the life of my sister is another. So I was going to make sure she understood what real consequences looked like. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.